professor there for 25 years. And just, oh yay, go green! Thank you. December 11, 2015 was a day just like any other of those 25 years worth of work days. I was rushing to get to work, and I was rushing, and I fell down the stairs. And in that moment, my life changed. My husband, John, comes running. Are you okay? It's like, yep, no blood. I'm good, right? So I get in the car. About 10 minutes down the road, I know I'm absolutely not all good. There's big black blobs coming out of the highway. And I know they can't really be there, but they're real to me. I see them, right? There's these big black blobs. So I know something's wrong. About a week later, I finally get in to see my primary care physician, who has the nerve to say, touch your nose, right? It's like, I can't do that. It's like, I'm all over here. And then I'm supposed to put my arms out and not tip over. Couldn't do it, right? 5 weeks before I could close my eyes and actually figure out where my nose was. So there I am 5 weeks later, and I think, yay, I'm better. This is good, right? I am all better. Except, you know, I teach for a living, and one of the things I have to do is sign things. And I will never forget, I was standing outside my office, and I've got a pen, and I'm trying to sign a certificate. And it's like, Tina, how do you spell Tina? I had no idea how to spell my name, right? I am supposed to know how to do this stuff, and I can't spell my own name. I was at an advisory board event for our school, and I'm having a lovely cup of coffee with this nice gentleman. He gets up and leaves, and I say to a friend of mine, who was that? She says, that's John M., and you've known him for 20 years, Tina. Oops, right? And apparently, over the next 5 or so minutes, I introduced myself to him 3 or 4 more times. Hi, I'm Tina. Fortunately, my friend Christy announced to him, she fell. She's okay. She fell. She'll be okay. So anyway, I go back to the doctor because I'm clearly not okay. And I go through a number of doctors. My first doctor leaves the practice, right? So then I get another doctor. And then I get, yeah, and you've been there, right? Then I get another doctor. Finally, I get a doctor who sends me for some tests. And I come back, I am perfectly normal. It's like, I can't spell my name. I can't read. It would take me literally hours to answer an email because the word, I could read the word, but this sentence thing, I had no idea. It would take me hours to do what I used to do without even thinking about it. So fortunately, the last primary care physician I get to refers me to a neurologist, Dr. Talal Durrani. And fortunately, he was the first healthcare provider who looked at me and said, no, you're not crazy. I believe you. There's something wrong. It's okay. It's this thing called post-concussion disorder, and it's okay. Speech therapy will help you, right? So yay, I get this stack of papers with all of these places in the area that provide speech therapy. And I call the first one, yeah, we're not accepting new patients. I call the second one, and it's like, we only do pediatric speech therapy. After going through 2 pages of places, I gave up, right? And my husband, fortunately, saw a commercial. And the commercial was of a police officer talking about origami. And he says, Tina, this officer's saying exactly the same things you've been saying all this time. So, 2.5, 3 years after I fell, okay, I finally make it to origami. Yeah. And that's where I meet speech and language pathologist extraordinaire, Julianne Timrick. Julianne gave me my life back. Julianne gave me my ability to read. I will never forget, first time I could read, I go to the library and I check out 5 books. I come home with one that's called Introduction to Statistics. My husband's like, are you serious? Like, yes I am. But anyway, to get there was a lot of hard work. I have never been one that liked playing games. I just don't. Julianne makes me play games. I will never, ever forget. She has the nerve. She's got this game, right? Cards, right? And what we're supposed to do is turn over the card and add them up and just keep cumulatively adding them up. So I turn over a 2. Yeah, I know, that's a 2. And then I turn over another one. And I'm supposed to add those together. No way. Can't do it. Absolutely can't do it. So playing games 3 times a week for an hour with Julianne. I was exhausted. I would leave crying. I would go home and just have to go to bed because I was so exhausted, right? But I knew if I wanted this to work, if I wanted to be able to read again, I had to do this, and I had to have homework too. So now I have like a therapy cupboard at my house, right? Julianne's got me playing Fits-It, right? And anybody played Rhyme Out? Good game, right? I will never forget this. It's like, I tried to play this game, which by the way, 10-year-olds apparently like. I tried to play this game so long and for so many times. When I finally was able to do it, I took a picture and sent it to Julianne. So it didn't matter how tired I was, how frankly irritated I was. I had an hour's worth of homework every day, whether it was doing NBAC on my phone or one of these games. I was going to do it because I was going to get better. If I'm going to teach, I have to know how to read. I have to be able to do this. So doing my homework, that's working. But one of the greatest gifts that Julianne gave me was, frankly, this hierarchy of cognitive functions. Right? I have always been somewhat driven, kind of high energy, right? But now after, she's nodding. You can't tell that. But anyway, after I fell, I couldn't drag myself out of bed. I would stare at a pile of work and just sit there, staring at it. And I would beat myself up because now all of a sudden I'm lazy. Now I know, thanks to Julianne, thanks to all the folks at Origami, I'm not lazy, I'm experiencing neural fatigue, right? When I can't seem to get motivated to do work, I am not being lazy, right? I'm suffering from atomania. It's okay for me being able to label those things, to know I'm not lazy, I'm not going crazy, made all the difference in the world for me. And I know that now I have to write notes. I used to be able to just go teach, and I didn't have to write notes. I write every word I say now, and that's okay. And when I start feeling like it's too much and I can't think, you know what I do? I turn off the lights, and I sit there for a minute, and that's okay. Right? So I won't be like I was before, but thanks to Origami, thanks to Julianne, thanks to my very patient friends at work, because there's also this thing called disinhibition, and I wasn't always very nice at work. Right? Thanks to that, and frankly, thanks in most part to the love and patience of my husband, John, it's okay. It's okay. And I thank you all very much.